Welcome back to your industry recap. Today's video is powered by Saily. More on their offering if you're an avid traveler shortly. Let's begin with Airbus A350 grounding updates. This has been a headline story across the week, and just to recap, it follows Cathay Pacific being forced to inspect its entire fleet of the Airbus widebody. These inspections followed a report of an engine issue that occurred during what was meant to be a routine flight between Hong Kong and Zurich. After the entire series was grounded on a temporary basis, Cathay confirmed it would work to replace the faulty part across 15 aircraft. Following this replacement, Cathay aims to return all aircraft to service in a matter of days, with by the following week, operations set to hopefully stabilize, or should I say return to normality. And while Cathay Pacific has been front and center following this development, you've got to remember that other airlines have also expressed their own concerns, hoping that this isn't a widespread issue. The Rolls-Royce XWB engine is hugely popular across the global fleet of Airbus A350s, and the fact that 15 units were affected by a problem seemingly not uncovered beforehand has sparked some concerns. Rolls-Royce, on the other hand, has said on numerous occasions that it's completely committed to ensuring that all engines are in the highest working order, and now briefs are to be expected across the A350 fleet to really get to the bottom of this and make sure it is not widespread. While Reuters reports that Airbus has not been mandating checks on the A350 engines following the Cathay incident, some airlines have already been inspecting the engines on their aircraft as basically just a precautionary measure. However, as this remains an ongoing investigation following the incident, there is still a lack of clarity around the circumstances, and again, I'll reiterate, whether it is widespread. As a result, the precautionary checks, while absolutely at this stage not required, are being applauded. However, until further details emerge, there is certainly a lot of unknowns surrounding all of this. The next two stories are going to focus on the growth of airlines' fleets. This all being done because more people are flying than ever. And one of the core things you need to do when you travel somewhere overseas is to get an updated SIM card for your travels. And have you seen those data SIM stores right as you arrive in a foreign country? The unfortunate reality is not only is this stressful, but you're likely to be scammed. That's where Saily, an eSIM service brought to you by Nord Security, comes into play. They're available in over 150 countries, and this means you'll always be connected, but I'd argue in a more important way, you'll do so stress-free. On Saily, you simply buy a plan, install an eSIM, and activate the plan. Yes, it really is that simple, and you have an added layer of security, but even more, it allows you to prepare also for your travels and limit stresses if you're, say, anxious about setting up at the end location, and you also have 24/7 support. If you run into any issues, a member of their team will be on hand. Saily's eSIM is a lifesaver for someone like me who has had the pleasure of traveling to so many different places, and it really is a convenient option. Head to saily.com/DJ's Aviation or click the description to support Saily and get 15% off your purchase. It is really as simple as clicking buy, download, and activating the plan. Moving on to the next story, and that's with EVA Air, who will continue rapidly growing their fleet over the coming years as it looks to respond to increasing demand and the need to modernize their fleet. But this ambition won't be without challenges. And yes, I am referring to them as EVA Air. I know that's technically how you pronounce it. I know most of us, though, will refer to it as EVA, so it's going to take a little bit of adjusting from my part. When speaking with the Central News Agency, the general manager of the airline discussed how the expected new aircraft are arriving at a very much a turbulent time for airlines across the industry, including itself. This turbulence stems from uncertainty regarding supply chains, which have truly been decimated in recent years. The managing director highlighted this, stating there are shortages across materials, people, engines, and seats. All these aspects are, you guessed it, critical to producing and shipping aircraft off to customers. Because of that inability, airlines have been unable to grow at the forecasted rates, and also at times been forced to retain older aircraft to mitigate capacity loss. However you look at it, there are going to be negatives. According to the current forecasts, EVA Air aims to see deliveries of around 6 787 Dreamliners in the next year and a bit, but the future outlook still remains tricky. EVA Air expects the ongoing supply constraints to continue for not just 12 months, but actually upwards to 3 years. And that prediction is generous, and this possibly depends on many factors. Unfortunately, aircraft manufacturers such as Airbus and Boeing have truly done it tough. Where demand has returned at record rates, these plane makers have been unable to keep up with the colossal requirements of their customers, and as a result, delivery output targets have been slashed at Airbus for the remainder of 2024. And over at Boeing. Through Boeing's issues, they've seen production increases, barred certification troubles, and so much more. There are further concerns that because so much has changed in the last 5 years, actually fully reconnecting supply chains will require not only a substantial amount of resources, but a lot of time. By 2032, the airline is hoping to see 47 new aircraft fly through its business across many aircraft types. And while it does fly the 787 Dreamliner, this really is its only next-gen active aircraft. Into the future, the Airbus A350 and A321neo will enhance the overall product provided and hope to boost efficiencies and therefore improve financial performance across key markets. And in what is truly a very special second half to the video with regards to the 787 Dreamliner, Air Premia is looking to grow considerably in the next year and is planning to increase its fleet size with additional 787 Dreamliners. The South Korean-based company actually commenced operations in 2021 using Incheon as a hub. It is explicitly focused on being a hybrid airline, so what is that all about? Well, through its business model, it wants to focus on having lower operating costs than larger full-service airlines and still having an affordable ticket price, but the one thing it doesn't want to see drop is the service aboard its aircraft. A challenging proposition, but exactly why it's a hybrid company. And the Boeing 787 since launch has been absolutely integral. It is the only fleet type that they operate. Now they're looking to add as many as 4 787-9 Dreamliners, which would be acquired on a lease from Peach Walters. If all goes according to plan, the planes will be ready shortly, and target markets include destinations across North and South America, but it doesn't stop there. They also believe there is room to grow in Southeast Asia. Generally, adding more 787s will ease pressures on the existing fleet and present more substantial opportunities to fly into not just new cities, but also upgrade existing services that may, say, need more flights per week. The leasing market remains a fantastic option for airlines seeking to enhance their fleet relatively quickly instead of waiting for deliveries directly from the source, which in this case is Boeing. However, as more airlines head towards that leasing market, you can imagine that some pressures are being felt. These leasing companies need to scramble to acquire jets, and as touched on with that supply chain shortage, it means planes can't be delivered on time. It just complicates matters further. But in this case, the jets are readily available, and they're excited about the future. That'll conclude today's aviation news recap. Be sure to check out Saily, today's sponsor, in the description or pinned comment. That's saily.com/DJ's Aviation to get 15% off your purchase. And we'll fly.